Friendship is not the default position for sexual relationships that don't work out. Friendships are not the default position for sexual relationships that don't work out. Friendship is not the default position when one person don't want to date the other person. Often we be like, well, no, we can just be friends. Friendship is not something that just spontaneously combusts after you reject somebody. I think people mean, I'm not interested in a relationship or a sexual anything with you. I'm only interested in platonic dynamics. But friendships take time. Friendships require nurturing. I mean, they're a relationship. They require time and energy and capacity. Sometimes friendship is even far more of an honor than fucking. You know? Some of us have friendships that have superseded any romantic relationship that we've ever had. I also think let's say somebody is together and they got a new boo. It is really easy to label your new boo as insecure and not trusting when you want to keep exes as friends. Now, I'm not saying you can't keep exes as friends, but this labeling of the new person as just immediately insecure, I just find it interesting how quickly the new person who may have issue with their new boo's friends, with the exes, is immediately labeled in some negative light. Maybe the new person is not insecure. Maybe they're in tune, intuitive, seeing some of these friendships for what they are, people remaining relevant and buying time. Even if you haven't been with the person, some people, I used to always wonder, how do people get out of relationships and in relationships so fast? Like, how do y'all meet people so fast? And then I realized it's because motherfuckers have rosters labeled as friends. And here I am like, how are y'all meeting these people? But it's really because a lot of people really value what I call gray and bordering relationships. So their relationships are people waiting in the wings. They help stroke our egos. We know those people will fuck us if they could fuck us. And so it's easy. You have something to immediately go to when you get out of a relationship. It's not like you have to cultivate something brand new with somebody you may not know and new people. No, you could just go to your friends because they were never solidly platonic to begin with. They were always kind of somebody you might have thought was cute. You would if you could, but since you can't, you ain't. If they could, they would, but since they can't, they ain't. But they definitely ain't drifting too far. But this whole idea of like this immediate, no, let's just be friends. But if you wasn't friends to begin with, friendship is not a default position. It's not something that just happens when you say, I don't want to be with somebody romantically. It's not well thought out. Functionally, I realize that we all have a lot of different perspectives and definitions on what friendships are. And I understand that people relate differently, and I understand that it's not black and white for many people, most people. But I just wonder what our partners, girlfriends, husbands, wives would feel like, what we would feel like if we knew that our people had people waiting in the wings. This started off as me really just thinking about friendship as a default position to failed sexual relationships. But now it's got me to thinking how, I know that you don't, at our age, we've all have exes. Most people have exes in their 40s. So it's not like we 16. But what, do people really spend the time to cultivate friendships? Or do we have our maximum number of platonic friendships, and so it's kind of like people get in where they fit in? We are okay with a good grip of our friends being people we've either fucked before, would fuck, or that we just have some type of something that's not quite platonic with them and we call them our friends. I wish we had another word for that we really could honor those relationship dynamics. Yes, they are probably have components of friendship, but they're not platonic platonic relationships. And maybe I should just let myself be more free in the world, but it just feels so icky to be on the receiving end of it. And I'm sure it feels like an ego boost to be on the other end of it, you know? And then we sometimes label new people in our lives as just immediately insecure when they peep that some of your people you calling friends actually will fuck you at a moment's notice if they could. And I don't know if I want to be in a relationship having to manage quote unquote competition in that way. Like a lot of people will respond by saying, well, you know, we grown, and if you want to keep her, you need to do what you need to be doing to keep her, and you need not be worried about who else would if they could. But if the person I'm trying to keep is calling people friends when they really either buying time or would fuck them if they could, I don't know. That's so heartbreaking. You know, the Libra in me is just like, oh. What y'all think about friendships and this immediately saying we could just be friends if the sexual relationship didn't work out, or we dating somebody and we were like, oh, you know, I don't think it's gonna work out relate romantically, but we can just be friends, and y'all wasn't friends from jump. That's the part that get me. Just be friends. We wasn't friends. We're not going back to what we was. I don't know, maybe what do y'all think about is human dynamics just generally much more robust than just platonic or not? I get that, but it's about the proximity that you keep people while in a relationship. It makes so much sense how people get in relationships real fast. The more I age, the more I understand. I'm not quite settled on it. I'm not judging. I have not landed nowhere, except friendship is not the default position for failed romance. That's just this immediate default. That's no, I'm solid on that. But the spectrum of human dynamics is where I'm talking myself into in this video. I'm trying to remember that my camera is actually right here and not right here. What y'all think about the spectrum of human dynamics when it comes to relationship spectrum? So friendship to romance to, how does that work for y'all practically in your life? Do you have people that you could, at a moment's notice, pull out of off the bench into something more than platonic? Or would you have to actually build that with somebody? Are you not a person that keeps a roster in that way? And I'm sure that by the time we're in our 40s, we don't even look at it. It's so normal at that point. But what are your dynamics in your life when it comes to friendship, dating, romance? How do they ebb and flow? Do they ebb and flow? Are you a black and white person where it's either or and never shall the two meet? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments, because I'm just wondering. But I do know that friendship is not the default position for failed romance. Friendship is not the default position for realizing you're not interested in someone. Anyway, drop it in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. I just got back from the gym, so I'm about to go take my shower, but I wanted to hop on here and talk to y'all first because I've left y'all for about 9 days and I shouldn't have done that. Please, if you would, subscribe to my channel. I am trying to get monetized. Like this video. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I am the Ignorant Intellectual, and this is a space where you are invited to think about your thoughts. Peace.